So the question is, what would cause the INTJ to become disillusioned? And probably a number of factors. All the types probably have a different thing that causes them to maybe check out from their their current life, their work life, their love life, their social life, anything like that. But I'm thinking for the INTJ, what causes them to become disillusioned? Is it is it something, for me, it could be, it has been being sort of let down about your ideal about what friendship should be. And I talked about this in another video, but let's consider career. I think this is interesting because what should an INTJ career look like? I mean, the everything from the MBTI manual to some sort of other kind of subjective standards would say that being a more intellectual type, you should be successful, right? I mean, you should get to the top of whatever structure you're in, whether that's a corporate structure, working in a nonprofit, you're in a church, you're in a band, whatever. There should be some level of success just due to extroverted thinking, kind of figuring out how things work, how systems operate, and then kind of exploiting them to get to the top. But I guess there might be this ideal from youth that the INTJ might think about that I want to get to that spot and realizing maybe that people, it's not my fault. I'm a genius. Other idiots got in my way, sabotaged me, or too bureaucratic. Something happened that caused me to not make it. And then you kind of get that dark INTJ that has a cynical view of the world that essentially believes that they deserve something because they're in their ivory tower a lot of times, and resents the world for not giving them what they've allowed these kind of the inferior people essentially to get ahead of them. But I wonder what else it could be. I've known a lot of INTJs specifically, but I think this does apply to the ENTJs that are in very hopeless and loveless marriages, or they're divorced and they've never quite found a spouse or someone that can really connect with them. And I think the other factor that leads to disillusionment is realizing that the people closest to you don't understand you. I mean, they get you, they know your sense of humor, they know what you're about, they know where you stand in terms of probably what your opinion is going to be on a political issue or any sort of societal issue, but it's like you've expressed it, but yet sometimes people don't really get you. So I think it's the realization that as many people or friends or acquaintances you might have, you're more alone than the other types. And what is that? Is it your inability, INTJ, to articulate what you're about? Whereas other types are really able to tell you, like, this is what I'm about. This is authentically me. What is that? What do you think? Does that come up? Is it a no one really knows me? I can never truly tell them who I am. Thus, I'm alone, and there might be that rare person that does get me. And unfortunately, like, if there's not that mutual, romantic connection or that mutual bond, you might be a friend, but never a spouse or someone that you could, live the rest of your life with. I think this might be not a hot take, or this might be all the types that could feel this way, but I've talked to a number of INTJs recently that have actually had kids, and it was funny when I posted that video about INTJs and parents, I just got destroyed in the comment section about all these INTJs coming out saying, like, I could never have kids, they're too much SE for me, I need all this time to do XYZ activity, and kids would just get in the way of that, and all these things. But I sometimes feel like INTJ men and women regret later in life, because I've talked to some in their 40s and 50s that they didn't have kids, or it's like there's no legacy. And I know that INTJs are focused on the impact that they leave in the world, and in what better way than through through a kid or through something to pass down or to teach, here's the secret to life sort of thing. You want to tell all your secrets about how to become successful. So I wonder if that's a little bit of like, I did not tell me. I never saw what I should have done earlier in life, and now I'm eternally let down by myself. It's like you almost kind of hate yourself. One thing I've experienced recently I've become disillusioned with something, which is being able to accomplish the things I want to accomplish. I think I may have experienced this thing called burnout. I always kind of laugh, like, what is burnout? Like, I've never really had burnout. I've gotten tired for a day or two, but I've always come back, and I've always wondered what this burnout thing is about. But I always liken it to the idea of in life, you can only, just like you're creating a character in an RPG game, the game doesn't allow you to give 100% to every category. So in my life, I'm like, I can't be perfectly physically fit as much as I want to. I can't read as much as I want to. I can't make as much money as I want to. I can't be as social as I want to. So when you're trying to fill all those meters up, you're just like, damn, what am I supposed to do because I want it all? So I've had to come to grips very slowly with the fact that I can't do it all. And I think for me personally, that's where I've become disillusioned. So I have to make some choices coming up, which is where do I want to focus that 33% here, 33% there, 33% here, then a little 1% on something else. I think right now, followers of my channel might notice I talk about success a lot, and I've never really focused on being successful in the sense of like a monetary or a title type corporate way, but I think I'm going to try and see what that does a little bit and see how I where I end up. I did the intellectual thing back in 2020 during the pandemic. I read 105 books, which isn't that much. I've seen some ENFPs read like 300 a year, so I'm definitely beat there, but I accomplished that. I was like, I can do more, but now I'm realizing I can't do it all. So my question to the audience, it doesn't have to be INTJ, but this is just from my perspective, like, what causes you to become disillusioned? Can you tell me about an experience where you felt like how I was feeling, where I've given up on this thing, or it's not the ideal that I created in my mind? And tell me where you've become disillusioned in your life.